Donald Trump goes from calm to indignant in newly released deposition video of civil fraud lawsuit. Biden and Netanyahu have finally talked, but their visions still clash for ending Israel-Hamas war. Microsoft says state-backed Russian hackers accessed emails of senior leadership team members. Today is Sunday, January 21st, 2024, and this is the Dunkley Report. Months before Donald Trump's defiant turn as a witness at his New York civil fraud trial, the former president came face-to-face with the state attorney general, who is suing him, when he sat for a deposition last year at her Manhattan office. Video made public Friday of the 7-hour closed-door session last April shows the Republican presidential frontrunner's demeanor going from calm and cool to indignant, at one point ripping Attorney General Letitia James' lawsuit against him as a disgrace and a terrible thing. James's office released the video Friday in response to requests from media outlets under New York's Freedom of Information law. President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu finally have spoken by phone after a glaring, nearly 4-week gap in direct communication. They talked on Friday. The leaders spoke frequently in the weeks after the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel, but their direct communication has decreased amid fundamental differences over their visions for Gaza once the war ends. Neither side shows signs of budging, and both men are hemmed in by domestic political considerations. Netanyahu has repeatedly rebuffed Biden's calls for Palestinian sovereignty. Netanyahu said this week that he has told U.S. officials, in plain terms, that he will not support a Palestinian state as part of any postwar plan. Microsoft says state-backed Russian hackers broke into its corporate email system and accessed accounts of members of the company's leadership team, as well as those of cybersecurity and legal employees. In a blog post Friday, Microsoft said the intrusion began in late November and was discovered January 12th. The company says a very small percentage of Microsoft corporate accounts were accessed, and some emails and documents were stolen. A Microsoft spokesperson had no immediate comment on which or how many members of the company's senior leadership had their email accounts breached. Military officials say as many as 121 unmarked graves in a former black cemetery have been discovered at a U.S. Air Force base in Florida. MacDill Air Force Base officials said Thursday that a non-intrusive archaeological survey performed over the past 2 years identified 58 probable graves and 63 possible graves. The Tampa Bay History Center notified MacDill officials about the possible black cemetery in 2019. The base hosted a memorial service in 2021 and dedicated a memorial on-site to those buried there. Officials say they plan to expand the search area this year and will continue to work with the community to determine how to best document the site and to pay respect to the people buried there. Donald Trump is using his social media platform to mock Nikki Haley. In a post on his Truth Social account Friday, Trump repeatedly referred to Haley, the daughter of immigrants from India, as Nimbra. Haley, the former South Carolina governor, was born in Bamberg, South Carolina, as Nimarata Nikki Randhawa. Trump has a long history of using race and ethnicity for attacks. Haley has always gone by her middle name, Nikki. She took the surname Haley upon her marriage in 1996. The attack comes 4 days before the New Hampshire primary, in which Haley is trying to establish herself as the only viable Trump alternative in Republicans' 2024 nominating contest. Prince Harry has dropped his libel lawsuit against the publisher of a British tabloid following a ruling that had damaged his case, and in which the judge suggested he might lose at trial. Lawyers for the Duke of Sussex told the High Court in London on Friday that he was withdrawing the suit against Associated Newspapers Ltd. There was no reason given, but it came the day Harry was due to hand over documents in the case. Last month, a judge ordered Harry to pay the publisher more than $60,000 in legal fees after he failed to achieve victory without going to trial. Police have cleared the ousted chair of the Florida Republican Party of rape allegations, but have asked prosecutors to charge him with video voyeurism. Sarasota police said Friday that a video recording Christian Ziegler made of the October sexual encounter shows it was consensual. However, police say the woman did not know Ziegler was recording the sex act, which in Florida is a felony. Ziegler was ousted as state party chair over the allegations. Sarasota County State Attorney Ed Brodsky said his prosecutors will begin an immediate examination of the evidence and police recommendation. Ziegler's attorney called the allegations baseless and says he's confident his client will not be charged with any crimes. The jobs of people who produce Sports Illustrated were in limbo after the company that paid to maintain the iconic brand's print and digital products told staff that its license was revoked. In an email to employees Friday morning, the Arena Group, which operates Sports Illustrated and related properties, said that because of the revocation, we will be laying off staff that work on the SI brand. Authentic later said in a statement, it intends to keep Sports Illustrated going. The company is negotiating with Arena and other publishing entities to determine who will do that, according to a person with knowledge of the talks who spoke on condition of anonymity because the person was not authorized to speak publicly about them. Getting through winter healthy means trying to protect yourself from respiratory viruses. January can be the worst month for these illnesses, and vaccination rates are low. When relatives, friends, and coworkers are coming down with coughs, nasal congestion, fatigue, and fever. Keeping viruses at bay means thorough hand washing, good ventilation, and wearing a mask in crowded areas. If you do get sick, prompt testing can help determine whether you have COVID-19 or influenza. That's important to see if you need one of the medicines that can help prevent severe illness, Paxlovid for COVID-19 and Tamiflu for flu. The first in the nation New Hampshire primary will test former President Donald Trump's Republican frontrunner status in a state he carried by a comfortable margin in the 2016 primary. But New Hampshire has a considerably more moderate electorate than the one that delivered Trump a big win in this week's Iowa caucuses. Tuesday's New Hampshire primary also will test former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley's ability to establish herself as the main alternative to Trump, as she's claimed on the campaign trail. On the Democratic side, President Joe Biden won't appear on the ballot, since the contest violates the National Party rules he pushed for. but Biden supporters have mounted a write-in effort on his behalf. Today's news was reported by the Associated Press. This has been the international news for Sunday, January 21st, 2024. Thanks again for joining us here at the Dunkley Report.